Hi, everyone. Today we're going to be diving into the power of transformative thinking and how it can begin to revolutionize not just the way we work, but the way that we view the world around us. I don't know about you, but I think that is so important that we begin to change the way that we think. We have a mindset shift in our everyday lives, whether it's work or the world around us and how we begin to view that. We're going to talk about three critical aspects that make transformative thinking a game changer in any field, in any area of our life. And as we get started, maybe think about your current mindset and how you address or how you begin to approach every situation and circumstance in your life. And that's going to help us to get in the right mindset to talk about the power of transformative thinking today. The first critical aspect is number one, transformative thinking drives us to shift our perspective. What is your perspective when you approach any situation or circumstance? Do you approach it in a negative way? Pessimistic, optimistic? Do you see all of the possibilities around you, or do you see all of the things that could possibly happen that could be a detriment to what's going on in your life or the culture in the lives of those around you? I want to challenge us to begin to open up our minds to see the vast possibilities of all of those things around us. This isn't just about finding new ideas. It's about uncovering possibilities for innovation and breakthroughs that traditional views might miss. You know, I don't know about you, but maybe you're restructuring your workplace. Maybe you're thinking about some new ways that you can do things in your life. Maybe you're talking about going and starting a new workout routine, or maybe something in your life that you say, you know, I'm tired of being stuck in this rut. I feel like I'm going around the mountain and nothing changes. Maybe we can get out of our old mindset, the traditional views, or what always has been done, and begin to see things in a new way. Shift our perspective, have a mindset shift in how we are doing our life. An example that I think is great in regards to reimagining and beginning to shift perspectives is Airbnb and Uber. They transformed hospitality and transportation. We are not the same place that we were 10 years ago because of Airbnb and Uber. They reimagined the possibilities of business models around the areas of hospitality and transportation by seeing what others could not see, and by seeing what others saw as disruption or impossibilities, they began to see it as possibilities. They saw an opportunity and they began to move in that direction. They shifted their perspective from what always had been done to what could be. So transformative thinking drives us to shift our perspective. Number two, transformative thinking fosters adaptability. In our fast-paced world, the ability to adapt is crucial. It's the ability to be pliable, to go into any situation and circumstance, to be in a relationship and realize it takes two people, or whomever that relationship, a group of people, that we all have to begin to make adjustments. We all have to begin to maybe lay something down, and we all have to begin to be a part and collaborate together on how this is going to work. It's not my way or the highway, or their way or no way. It is us together fostering this adaptability and being pliable to see change and to begin to change ourselves, because this incorporates growth. Transformative thinkers don't just react to changes. And I'm going to stop there for just a moment. When things begin to happen around you, when change begins to happen, are you someone that immediately digs your heels in? Do you stop? Do you freeze? And that's not bad. We all have ways to deal with change. Or do you look at it? Maybe some of us take time. I'm a person that takes time. I have to think about it. I have to, not necessarily wrap my full head around it or my mind around it, but I have to begin to sit with it for a minute so I can begin to see the different perspectives, the different viewpoints, the different ideas. Transformative thinkers don't just react to changes, they anticipate them and thrive on them. Do you wait for something to happen, or do you anticipate it? And I think that's crucial, and it's key to how we begin to adapt to something changing and the turning potential challenges into opportunities for growth. How do you turn challenges into growth? You anticipate change and you thrive in the midst of change. A great example of this is COVID. When COVID happened, we in the workforce had to shift drastically. Where we were going to the office, we were doing things out and about, we had to shift to being remote and still connecting on the same type of level, but in different places at the same time. And Zoom and Google Meets and, all of the different video platforms that we had, FaceTime, were critical in those moments. But we had to survive and change from surviving to thriving as the world rapidly changed around us. Organizations embrace remote work not only survived, but some of them thrived in finding new efficiencies and ways to connect globally. And some are still working remotely because of the challenge that was faced, but the opportunities that were embraced during those moments. So number one, we talk about the power of transformative thinking. Transformative thinking drives us to shift our perspective. Number two, transformative thinking fosters adaptability. And number three, transformative thinking builds resilience. It gives us the ability to sustain, it's like the marathon runner. We can run longer. Why? Because we're resilient. We build up that resilience. We build up the opportunity to go farther, go longer, and have the ability to begin to see things differently around us. By embracing change and viewing failures as stepping stones, beginning to see things differently. It is no longer a barrier or a roadblock. I can no longer go that way, but I begin to see it as a stepping stone. I'm going to find my way through. Whether it's under, over, or around, I'm going to find my way. It is a stepping stone. It is not a roadblock. We develop a resilience that powers us through setbacks and inspires us to persist until we achieve our goals. Sometimes we set goals that are so big and so high and it's so exciting, but the minute that we, hit a stumbling block or we hit what we see as a roadblock, we stop. We retreat. We don't continue to push forward. Resilience is important because, we brush those things off. Maybe we fall down. Maybe we have a setback, but we stand back up and say, you know what? I am not going to be stopped by this moment in time, by this thing. I'm going to pursue. I'm going to continue to go and strive for that dream. And I'm going to see my dreams, my goals fulfilled. A great example of resilience is Netflix. Netflix's strategic pivot from DVD rentals to streaming services was monumental. They began to see that shift before the digital age really even began, before digital streaming was even mainstream. They saw something and they decided nobody else is doing this, but we're going to do it. And they changed the way that we all began to, what is the word I'm looking for? We all began to watch and embrace this digital revolution and stream, and how entertainment began to be consumed. This bold move came when no one else was doing it, despite uncertainties and immense risk, because it was, right? There wasn't a model for this. They became the model for others. Netflix embraced the digital revolution. They dove in. They were not just teeter-tottering on the edge. They decided to dive in. And because of that, they transformed not only its business model, but also how the world began to consume entertainment. Now we can go anywhere at any time, watch what we want, whether it's on our computers, our phones, our laptops, our iPads, our Kindles, whatever it is, we can watch our favorite shows, our favorite reality TV, whatever that may be, we can watch it at any time, in any place. This decision didn't just adapt to change, it anticipated and shaped future media consumption habits. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with this because it's harder to unplug now than it was before. But I also enjoy it because sometimes I get a little piece of home when I'm traveling. They begin to set a new standard for the entertainment industry. And I want to end with this. Transformative thinking isn't just a skill. It's not just something that, we can attain, but it's a mindset shift. And I want to say that again. It's a mindset shift. We need to see things from a different perspective. We need to shift the way that we think. And that drives personal and professional development. If you're ready to start leveraging these principles in your life, why not begin today? I want to encourage you to like and subscribe for more insights and join with me each week as we build a community of innovative thinkers. People that think outside of the box, people that are willing to be adaptable and willing to change the way that we think about today's topics, yesterday's news, or what's happening in our future. And let's transform the world one idea at a time. Thank you for joining me today.